Okay, it says that it's working. So hopefully it is. Okay, it says that it's working. So hopefully. Okay, it is. All right, I am going to, let me see here. 1 second. All right. And so welcome to Painting with Joy. It is 6 o'clock. We'll get started here in a moment. But first, I just want to, those of you that just joined right now, when I came on earlier, I was like, are people gonna join me today? I wasn't sure. And then when I see faces, I'm like, yes, you're here. So anyway, thank you for coming to play with me today. We are going to be talking about Elizabeth Blackadder. But before we do, I wanted to say a huge thank you to the Coffee Club folks who donate and help us keep these free Painting with Joy sessions going. So Christine, Esther, Asma, Miss Katz, the Levine family, Gail, Candalee, Laura, Leslie, Heather, Carla, Marilyn, Donna, Lisa, and those that want to stay anonymous. Thank you so much. Can't do these without you, so I really appreciate it. Another thing that I want to say is those of you on YouTube, I won't be able to interact and chat with you. I'll try, but I might not be able to. But afterwards, I'll go back and comment. And then those of you on Zoom with me, when I go to my desk, you're probably not going to see my face. Well, it's not that you're not going to see my face. So you won't have to see all of my weird expressions, right? The weird faces of joy. So you don't have to see that. Hi, Jen. Good to have you here. All right. So if you want to spotlight me, you don't have to, but if you want to, it's that 3 little dot in the corner so that you can see my desk in a moment. But just something to think about. I asked it in the email. After looking at Elizabeth's work, what subject resonates with you the most? And folks have started putting down what they thought. Lisa said crabs and seafood, drawings and etchings, the open tulips, but also her cats. It's so interesting, those cats, right? They're just like all over the paintings. And she would just like let them be lying down. Did you get to do the homework ahead of time, by the way? Like watch some of the videos. They're great, right? I like the florals, Barbara said. Leslie says, loved how her hand could just make those tulip petals and the way she worked from outside the edges to in. I think her art just resonated with me so much. I can't even tell you. It was great. I can tell you. I'll tell you in a little bit. Lori says her work reminded me of the flat lays like people make on Instagram. Ooh, good idea. That's a great idea. Cats and Florals from Laura. I like her still life from Lisa. 2D objects. I like the gold leaf and the floral, the crabs. Quiet moments. Love the florals and balanced colors. Yes, Jen. I agree. Awesome. All right, so we'll get started. I'm going to just make sure that we're doing both here. And let's see. Okay, so is this upside down for you? Hopefully it's okay. Anyway, this is the book that I was talking about that, is it working? Did it freeze? Hang on, I might have to stop it for a second.
No, it looks good. We can see.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Can you see it moving though? It seems to have stopped. No? Do you see my hand? I'm moving my hand.
No, it's a static picture.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to restart this for just a second. Chicken nuggets. Sometimes these things these things happen and I'm just gonna have to start again. All right, let's see. Why are you not working? All right, so while it's not working, I'm gonna restart it. How's everybody doing? How was your week? Tell me something exciting that happened. What was your week like? Technical difficulties always happens. There we go.
Joining this class is an exciting moment.
Oh, I'm so glad. I am so glad you're here. Okay, my hands seem to be working or showing, so I'm going to try it again. I appreciate your patience. Oh my goodness. Yay! It's working. Okay, good. So this is the book, Elizabeth Blackadder, by Duncan Macmillan. So good. Let's see here. I got it at a used bookstore. And it has so many, like Her in Her Garden. Anyway, I always like to share books with you. Not that you're buying art supplies this year with me, right? Like, we're not buying a lot of stuff, so we'll try to get this at the library. Or put this on your list for next year's gift if you're doing that challenge with me. But that is the book that inspired it all. Okay, I'm going to look for a blank page. So let's get a blank page out. You could use your sketchbook. I will be using my Moleskine sketchbook here. And let's see. I just want to make sure everything is all set on YouTube. Oh yeah, okay, it's working. Okay, so materials. I'll be using my sketchbook. I have a large brush because I kind of like how the thing that we were looking at had a really big swaths of color. And oh no, my camera, why art thou doing this to me? Okay, it's focusing. Is it like giving, I don't want it to give you a headache. It's giving like focus vibes right now. I know it doesn't seem like it, but I did check everything before I started. We're gonna go with it. Are you okay? Is this gonna bother you? Okay, you're good. Okay.
It is shaking a little bit.
I don't know why it's doing that. It's so bizarre. Where's my tech support? I don't really have tech support. It's just me, but let me see. I think it's the automatic focus. It's like messing with it. Oh, is that better? Okay, that's better. I fixed it. Okay. Baby,
yeah, that's good.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Okay, so supplies. I have a watercolor pencil. I have my watercolors up here. Use whatever you have. I have color pencils. You all are gonna have to just be patient with me. It's gonna be one of those painting with joy times where it's just like I'm throwing things around everywhere. Color pencils, and we have pastels. Just kitchen sink it. Use whatever you have, all right? Okay, so the first one we're gonna look at is, let's see here. Well, first of all, I wanted to show you some of the artwork because I was just wowed by it. I need to just stop messing around with this, right? Okay. I just want it to be easy for you to see. Okay. There we go. All right, the Pinterest page. If you click on the Pinterest page link, it has so many of the artwork. Here's the fish that we were talking about. I just love that. I love the flatness. That's one of the words. I'm glad you caught on to that. The flatness. I love the cats are great. The flowers with the cats. So maybe it's something to think about. I love the collection of things that inspired her. So these are things that when we, your homework for later, think about what are some things in your home that you love. What is it that you enjoy having around you? I have a vase here that I just absolutely love, and it shows up in some of my paintings. I love this little Lego block thing that my son made me. So what are things that you like? So be thinking about that as we're doing this. One of the things that really, I love this. I just want to make this bigger. Look at that. It's just so inspiring to me, the color scheme and so on. So this is what you'll think about. We'll think about this as we are going to make our own still lifes, all right? Okay, so now we'll get started. First, let's go ahead and go to the page. Okay, this one is the flowers and the black cat. So we are going to warm up using flowers and the black cat. And if you have any questions, please feel free to just shout them out, talk to me, whatever you want to do, or put it in the chat, all right? Let's see here. Everybody doing okay? Okay. All right, so first of all, I'm just going to sketch with my color pencil. And remember, we are not going for perfection. We are just warming up. It's been a long day. You have had things that are just like, maybe weighing you down. But now we're here and we're just going to let it go and we're going to have fun. So I am going to draw the cat, all right? So my cat is just going to be sketchy. Because our goal is not to make exactly what Elizabeth Blackadder made, but just kind of like, a little map, whatever you would like to do. So here's my vase. Very, very sketchy. This is the time to be sketchy. Okay, I'm going to do this yellow piece over here. Later on, when you have time, I think some folks turned this into a tapestry. Some of her art, it looks so great. Okay, so there's my map. I just drew a whole bunch of little things to remind me of what I would like to capture. And now I'm going to use a large brush. I am tempted to do the giant blue blob because it's so energetic and fun for me. It looks really fun, but I'm going to not do that. Instead, I'm just going to go with the black cat. So here's my palette. And you know me, it doesn't matter if they all get mixed together. So I'm just going to... using watercolors. I love the way she used watercolors. So as you're doing this, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Elizabeth Blackadder. All right. So she was born in 1931 and in Scotland. And she was a collector from when she was a child. All right. Let's see here. I'm hearing some kind of echo. So if you could, folks, just please mute. And then if you feel like you have to say something, please say something. But for now, let's just mute just so you can hear what's going on and it doesn't give background noise. Thank you. All right. She was a collector when she was a child. She started collecting. And did you read about like the tragedy? Her father passed away when she was 11 or 10. And then she moved with her grandparents. She moved into her grandparents' home. And from there, she was saying on one of the videos, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think in one of the videos she was saying how her grandfather would bring things home from his travels, and that also kind of sparked that collecting, you know, where she wanted to collect things. So you know me, we're gonna be like, you guys are gonna be almost done, and I'm still here talking, but that's okay. So she did graduate. Oh, one thing about using an iPad, if you're looking at this, is you could zoom way in. All right, so that's just a little tip if you want to use an iPad. I'm just grabbing a red here, just any red really, throwing it in there. She did graduate with a degree in fine art and met her artist husband, John Huston, during her studies. She traveled a lot, and what she did when she traveled affected her work. Are any of you travelers? Do you like to travel? And if you do like to travel, where have you gone that have just like really made an impact in your life? I'm switching to a smaller brush. We went to Zion National Park, and I feel like it's one of my favorite places that I've just ever been. It is so beautiful. Like you drive a little bit and it's a different scenery. I don't know. It's strange. It's and then to camp there was amazing. Let's see here. Somebody said I've bicycled in Europe. Oh wow, Scottish Highlands, Hazel. That sounds amazing. So you can see how her travels would have affected or added to the vocabulary of her work, right? Because she went to see places that inspired her. Now my blue is showing up a lot. I should have used a different color, but what can you do? Dominique, hi Dominique, you're here. China and Japan. Ooh, so you probably saw these wonderful kimonos that Elizabeth Blackadder was talking about. Her color palette in the 50s and 60s were influenced by classical works. So you'll see some of it, the still life she did maybe were like a little bit more muted. Not muted, but like, you know, not as vibrant maybe. But in the 70s and 80s, she just was like introduced to, she went to France, introduced to Matisse, and she started injecting more color. I mean, Matisse, right? He is just such an inspiration. Okay, you don't have to do all of the pieces of the rug. I am just going to leave it like that. Those of you that have just joined me for the first time and don't know too much, or I just am a impatient painter. So I like to jump around. So while this is going, I'm just going to jump and do the background because that's what I'm most excited about, this beautiful blue. All right, so then she visited Japan. That's not the right blue. I'm just grabbing all sorts of blues to see which one works. She traveled to Japan, and from there, that had a huge impact on her work. I don't know about you, but it's really relaxing for me right now to just fill a page with a giant blue mark. The sound of watercolor to paper sounds amazing. Okay, so keep going. This to me doesn't feel like it's the same. Oh, there it is. Whatever that was the blue I was looking for. I don't even know which blue that was, but is that it? I might have to mix a couple blues, like different blues together to get the same vibe. You know what I'm the most excited about is seeing what you're doing. I'm excited about you like holding up your artwork, so I'm just gonna keep going here. My paper is buckling. Is yours? Normally I have like a rubber band that I... Ah, see, I do have a rubber band. I am prepared. Sometimes. Okay, there we go. Rubber band that thing. All right, let's see. Okay, so anyway, I am just really enjoying this giant blue mark right now, just filling up the page with blue. Try to leave some space for the white carnations. I think those are carnations. If those of you that just joined us and you didn't get a chance to re-watch the videos, really great watch to just hear how she talks and how she gets inspired. The thing that I love the most too is how she paints the flowers and how she describes it, you know. One of the videos, just her sitting there looking at the flower, holding the flower, putting it next to her. Definitely, I'm glad that somebody captured those videos, because sometimes when I look at artists, I would love to have known what they were thinking while they were painting. And what a gift. Technology sometimes feels like a curse, but also it feels like a gift. And I got the wrong color. I dipped in the wrong spot, and look at that. And that's okay. We're just gonna go with it. It's starting to get really dark. I had like extremely high hopes in what I was gonna be able to do here, but I'm picking the wrong colors. But that's okay. Taking care not to mess up the cat. This is the first cat I have ever painted, if you could believe that. Let's see. The Levine family. That's what Stefan said. And I said last night, watching her bring the flowers to life was amazing. I mean, right? It was just so... Thank you, Debbie. It was just so inspiring. I did love the flatness in her work, because that's something that... I'll just keep talking while you're painting. That is something that I am just trying to work on with myself. You know me, I'm like, as you can see back here, it's like every inch needs to be filled up with something. And I don't know that that needs to be, you know, sometimes you just need to give space. So I'm trying to learn how to do that, is give space. In the 80s and 90s, she visited Japan, and the kimono series, the Zen-like principles that she started to put into her work. So that just really resonated with me. All right, so now I'm going to use a different tool. Probably, what do I want to use? Maybe some pastels? Maybe, here's a blue. I'm just going to draw all over here. Have you heard of Elizabeth Blackadder before? Those of you that just joined me, I was saying to the folks, I actually forgot I had the Elizabeth Blackadder book, but since I'm doing the year of no buying art supplies, I was looking on my bookshelf, and I was just like, wait a minute, what is this beautiful green covered book? And it was that. One of the things that I'm wondering is how did she get this black cat to stand out so much? And I'm wondering, I thought they said when I was reading about this piece that it was watercolor that she used. Anybody else using something different than watercolor? You know me, I love my watercolor because of my impatient nature. What pastels are you using? That is a great question. This is a Pentel set. I purchased it, maybe several years ago. And it is so inexpensive. It's like $8 for 50. And it has served me so well. I love using it as a straight edge. Not a straight edge, that sounds weird. I love using it because it's hard and it gives me great edges. That's what I was meaning to say. The edges are great with these pastels. So Pentel. All right. Gail says my cat is looking like a rabbit. My cat, I don't even know if my cat looks like a cat, so don't worry. Don't worry, Gail. The cat. What we're really trying to do is just like relieve stress and like have a great time painting together. I look forward to this so much. I get so excited about getting to share somebody that, you know, maybe is new to some folks, or maybe you know them but haven't had time to do a deep dive, right? My cat is definitely not looking like a cat. Do you have tissue? That's great for tapping and drying or dabbing. So tissues are great. Does anybody have any questions? Please feel free to put them in the chat. If so. Okay, I'm just outlining my cat a little bit more. There's some awesomeness to the design of the vase. By the way, if you look at some of the pictures, these vases or these paintings are pretty big. It also inspired me to, oh, I have dog hair in my dog's hair is everywhere. It inspires me to want to paint big, and I say that every year, but I end up doing little tiny squares. I still have hope that I will be able to do that. All right, so I'm using a color pencil, and I'm just outlining these carnations, I think. When you were watching the video, did you notice how easy it seemed for her to have these flowers just come out of her hands? I was just like mesmerized. Like, how? How do you do that? It's years of practice, probably. Just keeps practicing. I answered my own question. Okay. I am going to keep adding here. You know what's missing is green. I'm missing some green. And look, I totally forgot to add these. I don't know what these are. Are they lilies? Or some kind of, does anybody know? Those flowers? Freesia. Did I say that right? Freesia. Thank you, Dominique. Now, you all know English is my second language, so sometimes I don't say things exactly right. So hopefully I said that correctly. Oh, Dominique says mine too. Yeah. English is a second language, and when I speak to my mom, today I spoke to her. Oh, shout out to my mom and dad. They always watch. It's so funny. They watch in the Philippines afterwards. But I spoke to her today, and for some reason, when I practice or speak in Tagalog, my English kind of just goes by the wayside for the day. So I have to like rethink back into English, reacclimate. Okay, so the yellow heart, I'm going to add that here. This is a long warm-up, but I want to show you what we're going to do in just a minute here. I think I might stop right there for our warm-up, and then later on just build it up a little bit more, because, you know, I like to leave my artwork and then come back later. So maybe I'll leave it like that for now. And I would like to see, are we ready to hold some of our artwork up? Those of you on YouTube, I am very sorry. You're not going to get to see these wonderful pieces of artwork, but are you ready to hold yours up? I'm trying to see if I can switch my settings here so that, oh, I'm seeing some art. Okay, 1 second. Multi-speaker, what does that do? No, that doesn't do anything. Okay. Gallery. Okay, here we go. Oh, whoa. Oh, Jane. Holy mackerel. Look at Jane's. Can you see Jane's? I'm going to pin Jane's. Wow, how in the world? Do you see that? That is so beautiful. And how did you get the black with the blue? Oh, Marcy. I just saw Marcy's for a second there. Phoebe. Oh, the energy. Yes, to that. How do you get so much done? How? I'm so jealous. I sit here and it's because I talk, right? I talk so much. Okay, let me see. Laura, the deep. Okay, Laura, what blue is that, Laura? What is that?
I'm using alcohol markers.
Oh. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. I can't even I wish we could just like pin yours the whole time. It's so beautiful. Okay, so let's see Debbie's. Let's see here. Oh, look at the cat. Oh, and you got the vase. I love it. I love it. Awesome. What kind of blue is that you use, Debbie? Oh, you're muted, but you could put it in the chat if you wish. Dominique. Oh, I can't. Okay, we're going to have to hold it up so I can take a picture. Look at how. How do you get so much done, Dominique? And look at the energy of the... I'm blown away. I'm blown away. I'm not even joking. Okay, let's hold it up. And then I'm going to take a picture. And then we will put it in our Facebook group. All right, so hold it up. And those of you... Jen, that looks amazing, by the way. All right, ready? I'm taking a picture. 3, 2, 1. Click. Okay, thank you. Awesome. Oh my, you guys, so exciting. Okay, so, can I just say, those are, Fran, I saw yours from afar. It looks so good. You all inspire me so much. Thank you for sharing that. All right, so I will now go on to, don't look at mine now because you already saw everybody's beautiful artwork. But we'll just go with it. I'll fix my cat later. But wow. That's what happens when you focus and not talk the whole time, right? That's what an excuse I'm saying to myself. Great job. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, so I'm going to get a new page. And I am just going to turn my sketchbook around. Anybody drinking anything good? I'm having tea right now. One time I did a painting with joy, and it was like a painting with joy on Zoom or something. And it was so interesting because everybody was painting with me, and then I'm just getting situated here. And then I was looking at everybody like we did just now, everybody showing their stuff. And then there was just like one random person with a giant bag of chips just like sitting there and just eating while we're painting. And I'm like, hi. I just thought that was so funny. That image is like seared in my head. Like, I guess you could eat while I'm painting. That's fine. But anyway. Okay, so this is what I'd like to do. the reason why I gave you so many photos was I want us to come up with kind of like our own. Oh, Jennifer is drinking turmeric ginger tea over here. Cheers! I'm having black tea. Awake, so it wakes me up. But what I'd like to do is I'd like to. Do you see how luscious some of these things are? And that's like my brain is like, put everything on the page. Let's see how much we can do. But what I'd like to do is kind of tone that down and be more zen-like Elizabeth, and kind of think about what are our favorite pieces, okay? So maybe on the first picture, you liked the vase. So just draw the vase. With a couple flowers maybe. On the next picture, maybe you like the fish, so maybe put a fish down. It doesn't have to be perfect. Your composition can change because this is just our own still life. So I wanted to give you a whole bunch of inspiration so you can kind of see what resonates with you. So let's take a few minutes and just go through and kind of think about what you want to add. Now, normally I would work in little squares, me and my tiny squares, but I'm trying to push myself today. I'm trying to get beyond my, go beyond my comfort zone and try to work on something flat, something with a lot of space, something with air, because let me see if I can show you some of the other work. Like, this is the kind of stuff I normally would like to do. Just fill the page up with just drawings of, just I want to learn how to give space. Does that make sense? How to give a little bit of breathing room. So that's what we want to do for this, okay? So look through. You can follow me. You can do what I'm doing too. I think I'm going to get a new page because then you can see both. Can you see both? Yes, you can. I hope you can. Move my stuff over. I have a lot of stuff. Does anybody else leave all their supplies like easy reach? Oh, this one I loved because this one has books. It has a little bit of it has a doll. It has a dog. It has daffodils. All right, so there's a lot of options here. If you're like, Joy, I don't have that PDF, not to worry. Look in your house, look around, and it might even be better to pick a couple things that you enjoy in your home to put on the page, okay? So I'm going to start. What is resonating with me? I think, I kind of like this vase with the books. So I'm going to use a pencil. This is a watercolor pencil, and I love using watercolor pencils because they kind of fade. Of course, I used the blue one and it didn't fade, so what am I saying? So here is my vase. I'm just going to sketch it. All right. And then I'll throw in a book, but the book I'm going to put right here maybe. This blue book. So do you see? You don't have to follow what your page is doing. We're kind of channeling Elizabeth Adder's why do I say Elizabeth Adder? Elizabeth Blackadder's work, and trying to think about how she would have put some space and breathing room in her work. So I'm just adding some flowers, and as you can see, my flowers are just scribbles. They're just shapes. And I'm tempted to just keep going and fill in the page, so I'm going to stop myself and look around some more to something different. Anybody like this fish one? Maybe I'll put a plate on the side here. If you have a pet at home, If you want to put a pet down, you can. And maybe I'll put the fish on this side. The cool thing about making this way is this is your own composition, you know? Like you have, this is an original just to you. Which I just love. A lot of people ask me like, how do you come up with your, where do you get your inspiration for photos or for painting? Usually it's an amalgamation of a bunch of different sources, whether it's flowers that I painted or I took pictures of or other things like that. So don't be afraid to mix and match. And then maybe I'll add, how many, maybe we'll do an odd number because odd numbers usually look great when it comes to a painting. You don't, even numbers kind of feel, to me, it might not to you, so whatever feels good, but to me it feels a little unbalanced. I almost feel like I have to add something else just to make it a tiny bit more pleasing to the eye for myself. So I'm going to look back at my pictures. And I like this green candle. It's almost like you're shopping and looking at, with these photos. You're like, oh, what do I like from this photo? Oh, I like that and I like that. I'm going to put that down. But if you already have it at your house, use what you have. Okay, so there's mine. I am going to now take my watercolors and I'm going to start painting, and maybe I'll keep the same kind of color because some of her work, let's look back. Do you see how there's white? So maybe I'll leave that white. This, maybe I'll turn a different color, but it was like a blue, so maybe I'll turn that blue. So really whatever feels good. I can't wait to see what you come up with. This is the exciting part for me. So I'm just gonna let you create for a few while I talk a little bit more about Elizabeth and what resonated with me. I love the flowers. What else did I like? The mixed media, right? The way she used the mixed media. I thought that was amazing. And the Japanese paper. Has anybody used Japanese paper with watercolor? Is that like rice paper or something? I'm not sure. So I thought in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna look for that. Like, what was that? I'm not gonna buy it, but I'm gonna look for it. And then I will add it to my list, to my shopping cart. So when it becomes 2026, it will be one of the first things that I buy. I'm trying to save money and use up the stuff that I have, which is very hard because I don't know why art supplies always get shown to me when I'm like on Amazon, on, my algorithm just shows art supplies automatically. There's my plate. I love it when everybody's so quiet. That means we're like super focused in what we're doing, I hope. Now the puzzle for me is what to color my background. Here's that green candle. I might have to look at the Pinterest page to see what inspires me. Okay, adding the candle. I'm kind of just making this up as I'm going along. one of the things that we're talking about what you're drinking. Just make sure you keep your drinks away from your paint water, okay? Because I always like say I'm not gonna dip my paintbrush in my water or in my drink, and I do it all the time. All the time. It happens. So I have to like almost put my drink in a different room. Just so, I can make sure that I don't do the same mistake. What else? Oh, these flowers. I'm gonna add some pinks. An orange for the poppy. Or is that an anemone? Or not an anemone. Now I can't say it. Is it a peony? That's what I meant to say. No? Is it an anemone? It's a poppy. Thank you, Dominique. Thank you for saving me. I would have named all of the flowers that I can say. All right. So there's that. I'm adding some green. This is really a challenge for me. My brain is screaming, add more stuff, but I'm trying to rein it in and just a challenge. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm going to always work like this, but just as a little bit of an art challenge to myself. Just seeing what I can, what I can accomplish when I try to put some not limitations, what would you call that? Constraints. Some constraints in what I'm doing. I'm just taking my tissue here and just dabbing in the middle just to give some texture. Right? And then also sometimes the paper doesn't do what I like. I don't know if you ever have that issue, but I'm trying to like not think about that and just keep moving forward. I'm going to try to do this fish, which is red at the top. I hope everybody's doing okay. I'll check in with you in a second or in a little bit. This looks like a fish, so I'm excited about that. Remember, you're not trying to make it perfect. You're just trying to get something down on paper. Okay, so keep going. Oh my goodness, the YouTube conversations are going. Hello, everybody. I will check out what you're saying in a little bit. Hopefully, you're doing okay. Uh-oh. I am just adding... I want to add some of these blues. Like, do you see these, like, deep, like, dark blues that are just moody-ish? I want to add that. And I don't know... Oh, I don't want to add it. I'm not going to add it. Because I'm trying to constrain myself and not add things that... See, it's hard. I get excited and I'm like, I want to add that. Oh, wait, I want to put that, but I'm going to chill and not do it. Okay. So now, while I have that here, I'm going to look at the Pinterest page again and kind of see what else. Oh, I kind of like that green background. That pink background is great too. I'll hold this up so you can see. We got a lot of background options here. There's like a gray one. Ooh, a deep plum. Huh. The options. There's so many options. I'm just kind of trying to see like what kind of goes with what I have here. I think I'm going to do this green. just be inspired by the green of this. This was actually going to be the one of the pictures that a reference photo, but then I'm like, do I want to use that one? But we will use it for the background. Now that's the wrong green. You could use whatever color you want. You don't have to do what I'm doing. I'm just inspired by the green, so that's why I'm using it. And I like how it's playing with the red. So that's cool. Just adding some more. Here's the downside of me not labeling my palette. Is I pick the colors and then I forget what color I picked. And then I'm like, oh, I like that combination. Wait a minute, what is that? So, ooh, I'm liking this. I like how the green is vibrating with the orange and the red. Nice, nice, nice. What color background did you pick? Can you put it in the chat? I'm excited to see. That will like inspire me to keep going. What color? What color? I know you're probably busy painting and you don't want to put it on there right now. But if you can and you have a chance, what background color did you use? Oh, I can't wait to see this white pop. This is just watercolor that I'm using, but if you have oils or gouache, gouache will probably stand out. Thank you, Jen. Light brown brick background inspiration. Excited to see that. You know what would have been bold is like a pinkish. Ah, from the still life. Awesome. Like a pinkish background. I thought about that too. But then I ended up not using it. Lavender K. Ooh. I can't wait to see that. A lavender. Okay, so can you believe it's 6:52? What? How? This class goes by so fast. Okay, so I just want to say April is usually the time where I take a break. So we will be taking a slight break for painting with joy in April, but then we'll be back for May flowers, all right? So we will flower it up in May. But for homework, I wanted to tell you the homework before we got off this Zoom or this class session. What I'd like for you to do is come up with the same kind of thing, like the same kind of, be inspired to do the same kind of still life again. You could use the reference photo, or you can do something in your house that you like. Maybe you like collecting things. Does anybody like collecting things? You like things that around your house that you just absolutely love. Maybe something from when you were young, when you were traveling. So think about that to add to your still life. I'm probably going to change the color of my candle because it's not standing out with this green background that I picked. But I'm really enjoying making my brain kind of calm down and not fill in all the space, which I'm trying to channel Elizabeth Blackadder. Just the Zen-like approach of not needing to have all the noise happen and just have a little bit of rest for the eyes. Even when I'm at a museum, I gravitate towards those paintings that have a lot of detail So this is a different kind of thinking for me, a different way for my brain to work. Okay, just adding some more in the back here. The green. Oh no, they're dancing. My orange is dancing with the green, so I'm just gonna dab it and then come back to it in a little bit. What you could do too is define things with, you know how to do this, define things with the pastel, define things with different, sorry about my dog barking, define things with different tools that you may have. Okay, so I'm gonna stop right there for me. Do I want to stop right there? Hang on, I'm just gonna add a little bit more. And then I'll come through with like maybe even marker. I was very inspired by Laura's alcohol markers. Maybe I'll do that later just to add more definition since this is really a little bit washed out. But I also kind of like the texture of it. So I'm enjoying that. All right, so it's 6:56. I can't even believe it. I'm going to stop right there for me. And I would like to see how you're doing. Is everybody doing okay? I hope so. Let's see. I'm just gonna switch my camera to, oh, Gail, that's so pretty. Okay, so let's not hold it up just yet. I just want to say goodbye to the folks in YouTube. Thank you. I don't want to hold yours up just yet because some of yours is wet, and so it'll probably drip. So 1 second while I say goodbye to the folks that are with us. Let's see here. Goodbye, YouTube folks. Thank you so much for joining, and we will see you another time. If you want to join us on Zoom, because afterwards we kind of just look at everybody's work and talk about it. So